This episode of Loose Women, the podcast, contains some adult themes. Coming up.
Just work with what you've got. I look back on pictures of me when I was younger and think, my gosh, like I should have just appreciated more what I had. Confidence as well doesn't just come from how you look, you know, it's about how you feel.
Thank you. I've been married 20 or 22 years, and there have been so many points where I've thought, I can't do this anymore.
Really?
You might not know this, but my Mark has the biggest crush on Christine.
Wow, and how do you feel about that?
Hello and welcome to Loose Women, the podcast. I'm Nadia Sawalha, and this is the fabulous Judi.
Oh, thank you. And thank you to everyone that's been listening, who's followed and subscribed to the podcast. It's very important for everyone to know that we're here.
Yeah, and we love the rating too.
Most
Rate
definitely,
us.
yeah.
We love to be rated. Right, today's episode is slightly different from the last one, where Denise and Ida did quite a deep dive, some really juicy stuff in there.
Much so.
Yeah. Today, we're handing it more over to you guys, and Judi and I have selected some fabulous questions.
Honestly, we're turning it over to you, and you have the reins on this. You've been sending us your questions and your juicy dilemmas, and you know we're up for the juice, yeah?
Okay, Rebecca wants to know, is sexy more than a size? 100%. I struggle with being sexy as a bigger girl. Can you give me some confidence tips, please? Right, well, Rebecca, this is a great one to have Judi Love here, because this might surprise you, but I aspire to your people say to me, oh, you're the body confidence person, but I aspire to you because, like, in the meetings before the show, if anything sexy comes up, you start to just go into this reverie of your own self, and it's just...
I definitely touch my hair, don't I?
Hypnotic.
I don't know. You know what it is? I think I've got to a stage where there's still bits that I'm like, oh God, the days where I'm like, but I think I've got to a stage where I'm just like, work with what you've got. I mean, there's so much other stuff going on in life that you mean now I have to carry the burden of, like, the belly might not be exactly how I want it. Do you know what I mean? My feet have got bigger since I've had kids. Like, just
mine's spread too. What is that?
I don't know.
I used to be a size 5.
Yeah, I used to be a size 6, and now 8 is calling me, and I think 9 is running after me. So
soon Ruth Langford shoes won't be big
Oh,
enough.
don't tell her. But I mean, I feel like I'm at the stage where it's like, just work with what you've got. I look back on pictures of me when I was younger, where I was less confident, and I look back and think, my gosh, like I should have just appreciated more what I had. You know, I think if you have a certain amount of confidence, it really opens you up to different experiences, because you kind of limit yourself when you have low self-esteem. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's days where I'm a bit like off.
I think that's the important thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like everyone wants this holy grail of, like, you have to love yourself.
Yeah.
And I always say, don't go for that yet.
Yeah.
That is like Everest. Like, because people will immediately give up. When people ask me about body confidence, I say it's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing.
But, like, nothing is just linear, is it? It's like it's a struggle, and then other days you can just feel so amazing.
And confidence, can I say confidence as well, doesn't just come from how you look. You know, it's about how you feel.
Thank you.
The experiences you've embraced, the people that have been. I mean, being
It's
around...
very rarely with the way somebody actually looks.
Yeah.
Because somebody could be in this world of what we think is perfect. They could be perfect and have so many issues. But what is your first tip? If you could give one tip to start you off.
You know what? I think I've said this before, but I'll say it. I think it's about understanding, like, I look at my body and I think to myself, wow, I had this body carry these 2 amazing children. This body allows me to go to this job that absolutely, I don't even see it as a job. It's just like such a fulfillment to come here. Like, this body allows me to stand up on stage and make people laugh, and we eat good food and we have conversations. I think really looking at about how your body navigates the world and helps you to do some of the most amazing things in your life. And then the other thing I definitely say is surround yourself with amazing people. I am so blessed to have you guys. I'm honestly, I mean, the other day I was sitting down And I was like, I just felt so like elated and so joyful. And it was like, I know a bunch of phenomenal women. Like, it's not every day you can, a journalist, an actress, a this, a great mum, and that. I could phone any of you and have like advice within different areas. And that built my confidence because I was like, I'm a part of these women.
Yeah. But that
Do you know
internal
what I mean?
confidence.
That internal confidence. So it is about the internal more than anything else. And then if there is things that physically or on the outer that you want to change, take your time. Find out why you want to change.
We're both belly squishers as well, aren't we?
Oh, let's
so
not...
so Judi can come into my room. We sit there because this belly.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening on podcast, but you can see this on YouTube. This all my life, I was like, I hate my belly. It's the thing that women say the most.
The
right?
most.
And I actually now, and this came from I was doing a photo with somebody that was incredibly slim, right? And I put my arm around, they put their arm around, and I thought, oh God, that feels so different. This person is so thin. And it just met, and I thought, I actually quite like squishy.
Yeah.
And now,
and you get the
I
squishers.
will literally go like this with my stomach.
You're turning into me.
I've done it over. No, but that was from you. It was like this squishiness. I like it.
I like it
I
some
actually
days.
like it.
I like it some days, and it's there, and it served a purpose.
But I accept it.
Accept it, and bit by bit, you learn to work with it. You learn to, okay, I'm going to try and lose some of it, and try and move on from having been stuck in that moment because you're just wasting so much time. And for health.
I'm wasting sex.
I mean, listen, the handles is there.
Well, no, but you do. Often you won't take your clothes off, will you?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, the clothes you got to grab up on this. Do you know what I mean? There's more. You're dating more than just this one
This is what I mean. This is what she does in the meeting, and I come out and I'm like, I'm ready for everyone.
But you know what the issue is? Because as women, we don't see each other naked as much.
No.
You've got
if you're a couple of weeks ago.
You have seen
so funny.
Thank you.
I went I knocked on the dressing room door. Rebecca, you're gonna love this. And I didn't because I thought it was my dressing door. I opened the dressing room and Judi was just like this, right?
I was screaming myself.
She was putting body lotion start naked, and I went, but she didn't go, oh my God. She just went, hello. She didn't say hello, but her eyes said hello, and then she was like, oh, and I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Naked.
Do you know why?
You look so beautiful.
I didn't jump.
Like a goddess.
I didn't jump because there's too much different bits to grab. Okay, so I just had to wait what I've got. But I think because we don't see each other, we go swimming pool, we kind of cover up. You in your mind have a perception of how other women's bodies just look like picture perfect. And then when I went to Japan, I went into their spa and everybody was naked. And I was like, oh my gosh. My daughter ran out and then I was like, no, I'm going to embrace this. I jumped in the pool. Obviously the water went out a little bit, but I thought, hey, I'm British. I'm getting involved in the culture. And I was watching all these women naked. Everything was out. And I just thought, you know what? We're all women. We're all safe. It's not often.
We don't see each other.
We don't see each other, so we're worried. Like, oh my gosh, what does it look like? But we're all beautiful, and that's the most amazing thing about our body. It takes us to places. It makes us love upon people, have experiences, and appreciate that as much as you can.
And on the last line on this, I would say, rather than reaching for body confidence, reach for acceptance.
Yeah,
I accept this.
And cream yourself naked in front of the mirror. So Nads, I must say I call Nads, like that's just our thing. All right, let's get into this. Mary wants to know if you had to remarry one of the other ladies' husbands, who would you choose and why? Wow, Dave, she went in.
Oh, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say this.
No, say it.
Okay, Christine Lampard's ring is really, really nice. And my ring is not.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. You've gone straight for the diamonds. What about the qualities? Is there qualities about him?
That ring. Honestly, sometimes it distracts me.
Babes, I can't lie. It does get me. And Frankie's, yeah.
So what's the name of her husband again?
Pard. What's his name?
But the ring.
The ring is the one. He's lovely, though.
What about Penny's?
Pennies. Penny. We have to carry Penny. Take a plane with that ring, Penny.
I'm just trying to think. because I love a smell, don't we? Sometimes we do sniff the guests when they. I can't remember who that guest was, and we were both like.
Do you know who it was? It was
man.
Peter Andre.
Was it?
Yeah, he smelled good.
Yeah, and we both bought that aftershave.
Yeah,
didn't
I was
we?
like, I'll be your mystery girl if that's the song. He smelled really good.
But I'm trying to think who else smells. In fact, I do think Frank smells nice.
Yeah.
It seems to be that I'm moving towards Frank.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Christy.
Yeah.
But then Mark, you might not know this, but my Mark has the biggest crush on Christine.
Wow, and how do you feel about that?
I kind of love it. I really love it. And she's like really cute back with him and stuff. But he loses himself. He can't speak when he's near her.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, he loves her. Okay, so Judi, who have you got next?
I've got Dan. He asks, do you ever get told off in your ear? I felt like Dan was in the audience. You know the answer to that, Dan.
I think that, well, first of all, there may be people that are listening that think, what you know, if you're talking about your ear.
For real.
So we have little earpieces. They go into our ear. They sit very nicely, and that they are there to tell us things like from the producers and the director, we're counting you down, we're counting you out, for God's sake, wind up, or don't forget to ask this, da-di-da-di-da, ask this. But we've been in the job a long time, so it's much less with us, isn't it? I mean, I think that a lot of the time the producers, and that's a really great relationship, and producers trust that we're going to have a free-flowing conversation. I think we'll but it is a vital thing, because it's there could be some unbelievable news story that's broken or something. You have to have that connection, and I'd be terrified to go out without it.
I think I've been told off once or so. I think we all have. You know, it's like because when I'm on with you, we're just chatting, kicking away,
we do get
and they're like 10 seconds.
We tend to get told off more about coming out of the break than we do on the
show, without a doubt.
Yeah. Right, so now Bridget wants to know. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I chose this one. Bridget wants to know what your party trick is. Now, don't say no. Don't say.
Me
I've done this loads
or both of us?
Well, you, I think. Well, I'm going to say you.
Trust you to pick that one.
Slurp. Yeah, because I want you to do your baby crying. Don't say you've done it loads of times before, because I could listen to it every day.
Can I hide my face?
Yeah, go on.
Go hide my face. Okay.
No, because you've got to do baby eyes. It's too good. Go on. Now do it when they've got so hungry and they're shaking. Feel free, guys, at home to download that and keep that for any time you might need it. I can't come into work today. My baby's very on my... I love that.
I don't even know how I found out I could do that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, what was the genesis of this?
Alcohol.
Go on, it's your question. Or is it me?
Is it me?
Oh, yeah, because we're going to have a little break.
Yeah.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Oh, I
Should we have a biscuit?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
But we won't be long, and we'll be back with more of your questions. Welcome back, everybody. I can't wait for this.
I know.
Next question.
This is more like of a dilemma, which I absolutely love, and it's from Anna. She wants to know, what advice can you give to someone in a loveless marriage?
Wow, that is a huge topic.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the thing is, I've been married, I can't remember now, I think it's 20 or 22 years. And there have been so many points where I've thought, I can't do this anymore.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Twice couples counselling saved us from divorce.
What, you was that close, you feel, to divorce?
Yeah. Because all communication had gone out the window. And there was so many things that we'd got, points that we'd got to that we couldn't talk about anymore because that would cause a row. And was
it like one thing led to another to another?
Yeah, we just got to a place of, I mean, I've spoken often on the show about Mark's, Mark's been sober now for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's an ongoing thing. That's not That's not, oh, you get sober and then that's it.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, he struggled with his mental health. I really struggled, first of all, with being a mum, you know, and I'm a madam, you know. I'm fun, I'm kind, I'm all these things, but I'm also a cow. Do you know what I mean? And I will stand up for myself, and I don't step away from a row. So we were in the worst places of ourselves, struggling with stuff. And we just got to a point where there was just too many things that we couldn't talk about. And but sometimes, and I'm sure he felt the same, I just thought, do I feel enough love to carry this on? But I tell you what, I always went back to.
Yeah.
And Mark knows this. Mark knows that this would be the point where we would be over. I could always say I liked him. Right? Because I think that as women, we find it a lot easier to say, and I've said this before, I might have even said this on the show at some point, we can find it easier to say, oh, but I love him. And then when I've asked women like this before, and they say, do you like him? Well, I love him. No, but do you like him?
It's important.
And love can be something that we just say, everything is defined by love, and we must feel this love,
Yeah.
and when it's not there. So I would be very cautious. When I was younger, I was, if you're in love with this marriage, leave. But it's peaks and troughs. It's a winding road, marriage. And it's a long road. And for me, I've worked through the loveless points. And now I can look back and go, they weren't loveless. They were desperate points when we weren't communicating, and we knew we liked each other, but we weren't able to reach each other. So
is it a thing like, when you do go through that hard moment, it's almost a moment as well where you can reset? Because I suppose you're both changing as people. You might get to a lockhead moment where the communication is not there, and maybe that's because things have changed, things have happened in life, and you haven't been talking about them. And this point is a time where you can have that communication, although it's hard. You know, it
doesn't like happen. It's not like you open a door and then the light is there again.
Right.
It's when you have to have patience. So you might get a pinhole of light, not like, oh, wow, there's the light of my marriage, and there's the light of my love, and all the love is actually always been. It's like, oh, okay, but there has to be the will. So if the will is there, and the person is a decent person, I don't have the same attitude. If somebody is a nasty piece of work, and they're not willing to communicate, and they are unkind to you, and they don't ever cherish you, I think I would, or if it was my daughter, I would say really look at how you're going to leave. But if those fundamentals are there, like, you know, deep down they cherish you, and that they would be there for you, then you can work to find the pinholes of light again and then expand them.
You know what? I was in the car the other day, and the driver, I always love talking to my drivers, and I love when I meet couples who've been together for years. I always ask them, like, what helped you get through? And he was saying they had some very hard times, like you said. He said, but like what you said, regards to the love, he said a lot of people go, as long as the love there. He goes, the love is not the thing. He said for him, what got him through, they've got him through to 42 years, was the respect. He goes, because you have moments where the love has gone. He goes, when the love's gone, what are you going to do? He goes, but in those moments, the respect was still there, that I'm not going to do this because I respect her enough. I'm actually going to push forward with this conversation, even though at the moment the love's gone and I'm upset, but respect out of her wanting
friendship.
And friendship. He did say friendship as well. So it sounds like you're saying that, you know, you're in that moment, but still push through with the respect, and if you like them, so that you can push through on those conversations.
Well, I remember our first couples counsellor said to us, I was so shocked by what he said. He said, do you know what? Time and again, people will come in here, they will get divorced, and then they will marry someone else, and it's more or less the same person.
No.
So if the
No way.
if the like is there, because he said so often what happens is in a relationship is we're trying to work out the that we felt our parents didn't work out, and so you'll keep choosing a similar problem without even knowing it. Subconsciously choose a similar problem. That's what he said. So I was like,
similar
God, I can't
problem
go
to
through
the
this again.
to the last ex. Similar problem to the last ex.
Yeah, because it's actually something. That's why couples therapy is so hard, because you can avoid so much when it's single therapy. When it's couples therapy, you'll keep being brought back to what actually maybe the root is. But you've been single a lot of your life, so I'm presuming You I didn't mean it like that. I'm presuming you might say something very different to what I would say.
Do you know what? I think, I came out of a little longer relationship, a longer term relationship, and I learnt so much. And I think, because I had my children, I was a single parent, I was very conscious about dating and bringing new men around the children, because I just was more frightened of making the same mistake again. That breakup was really hard when you think in your head, like, you're going to have children, you're going to get married, it's going to work out, and it doesn't go that way. You kind of you can kind of beat yourself up, and I let go of that guilt. It didn't work, but I've got 2 amazing children. But I think to myself, like, in the times where I've been single, and I say to people, especially when they're having difficulties in their relationships, I rarely give advice to married couples, but I let them both know, both of the people in the relationship who are my friends or family, I love you both. If there's something I can do, like have the kids so that you lot can have a break. I know someone who knows a relationship therapist. Actually, I've got a sister and brother-in-law who's been married for years. You can speak to them. I always support in that way. Or if you want me to be there when you're both having a conversation, because it's easy to speak on people's relationship, but I think it's more about me saying to them, I'm here for the both of you. Don't get me wrong. If one is doing something that is really disrespectful and wrong, I will be the friend who will say to you, that is not right. That is out of order. I'll be honest with you.
Something I always say to somebody when I think they really are in a bad relationship, I always say, you think you haven't got the strength to leave because you're using all of it to stay. And honest to God, if you leave, the amount of energy you will find, it's incredibly hard work to stay with somebody that isn't good for you.
Yeah.
And it wears you down.
Yeah,
and you think
it does.
You
and you wear yourself down, and you lose yourself. I've been in relationships where I've lost myself, and it's about, for me, enjoying this moment of singleness, because it's like you said, dating yourself, rebuilding yourself. But I think, as I was saying, it's easy as a single person to talk about, that's not great, why would you do that? But understanding, I look forward to being married, and understanding the complexities, the joy of it, the unionship, and sticking with it. And I am so blessed that I've got people like yourself and my sister and other friends who have been in long-term relationships, and those are the people I would go to. Now, don't get me wrong, you can confide in your friend who is single, but it has to be someone that you really trust, because it's too easy for people to speak into your relationship. I'm very mindful of that.
Yeah, you always say that.
Yeah, I think that's an old school thing.
Because people can carry their own upset with their own life.
Your business. That's your person that you've said, if you are married, for better for worse. We call it like pillow talk, and once you've like discussed every single thing with them, when you're just upset with them, obviously if something abusive, fair enough, but you're just upset with them, you get on your nerves and you didn't buy you what you want, you're actually disrespecting your partner. When you're talking about your partner's personal stuff that they've confided in, you're breaking your confidentiality and privacy between them, which is actually intimacy. Intimacy is just not physical. It's about those moments when they share heartbreaking stuff. They share their fears, they share their worries and anxieties and their joys. And it's very important for you to not break that intimacy between each other. And that's when it's a problem. I think I'm ready for my husband.
I think you are too. Come on, men of the world, where are you?
So, Becky would like to know, would you be prepared to do the show without hair and makeup? Not today, Becky.
It's funny, isn't it? Because the world has changed. When I think back to when we first started Loose Women, 25 years ago, people were just not seen without makeup.
Really?
And I think we've just come on and beyond that because of social media. I mean, most of the time on my social media, I look like I look like I've been pulled through a hedge backwards, so that is the norm for me, is to look like that. The abnormal is to have makeup on. And I think social media has blown a lot of that out of the water. Behind the scenes is kind of life. And not a lot of people agree with me on this, because I think programs like Love Island has done some of that as well, because I love the way the girls go and get fully made up, and then they are like fully taken off, aren't they? With like
eyelashes, everything.
The whole work comes off, and then they're in the pyjamas and they're getting into bed. So I think, and I love that my daughters are so like that. My daughters are beautiful, but you know, like everybody, sometimes they don't look so beautiful, and they don't. And why should we be beautiful all the time? And they're not afraid. They'll go out without makeup. Their hair doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to. That's what we have to go to, especially when so many men make no effort with themselves whatsoever. We're still working it. I'm 60. I'm still working it.
It's no. So... I hear what you're saying though, because when I do videos, sometimes I don't have makeup on, or I have my hair out, or I'm just like, because it is finding that space. Before I did a lot of TV, I never used to wear so much makeup.
You're so naturally beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Come on, it's ridiculous. No. I mean, you're just highlighting when you put makeup on what you are anyway. There's no, you know, and your beautiful black skin. Come on, you don't have to put up with all the stuff that we do with white skin, which is mottling and broken veins.
You can't afford that. Everybody's skin is
No, you have got beautiful skin.
You know,
and so, but why do we always have to be beautiful?
I know, and I think we're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're natural. Like, I love the way you're just natural. You're just, you know, today, like,
say it.
You've got like this just natural freeness with your movement and things. The way you interact with people, the way you eat. I just absolutely love it.
I wish we could have no makeup on more on Loose Women. If I'm honest, I think there's still too much pompadour. Do
I do think that of lately, not necessarily our show, but in general, makeup has gone. I felt like back in the day it was like, all right, a little bit lip gloss, a little bit of foundation, but now it's like having the full works. I remember saying to someone, "Oh, I've got to get my makeup done," and they were like, "Your makeup is like people book that for their wedding."
Yeah, we are fully made up now.
Yeah, we're fully. I
said to my mum, I wish sometimes we could almost have like no makeup and just come in our own clothes. She went, "Oh, please, God, no." We don't want to be watching the television and being reminded of ourselves. We want something better to look at.
Well, the thing is, TV and these things and magazine is escapism, and it's that world of like wanting to see something that you could aspire to. Not everybody wants to aspire to having makeup, but you know, seeing something that we want and feel, oh, I'd love to wear that. Oh, I'd like my eyelashes like that and my hair like that next time. So we'll always bring the glam because we're the Loose.
I suppose it's just my laziness. Really, I'd like to fall out of the car in my pyjamas and just get straight.
Girl, let's be honest.
They won't let me do that.
We do it. We fall out of the car and roll up, and then our makeup team and hair team are like, oh gosh. And then afterwards we come out looking like this. Trust me, we are not Beyonce.
Trust us,
we did not wake up like this.
Okay, well, I think it's time for another break. Apart from anything else, I'm dying for the loo.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Now, after the break, we have got a question from a special celebrity guest. Plus, what we're calling our star question, our favourite one from this week's batch. That's all after the break. Oh, welcome back. I'm feeling a bit better. Right, our next little bit of this podcast is our celebrity question.
Right, and I'm excited to say it is none other than Britain's Got Talent judge, Alicia Dixon.
Oh, we love her.
So, performing, singing, dancing makes me feel good. It's how I let my hair down. How do you ladies like to let your hair down?
Oh, that's a nice question.
It is a very nice question.
Oh my God, actually I might stop crying.
Why?
Because I've got this thing at the moment that I've just got too grown up. Because I was the let your hair down girl.
Yeah. You still are.
Yeah, given half a chance.
Yeah,
but I'm not letting it down enough.
Wow.
So for me,
that was you before.
Letting my hair down. Laughter, I feel free when I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So free. Definitely dancing, music, and the occasional small glass of rosé wine.
Oh,
as if.
Yeah,
I love a bit of wine. I love a bit of dancing. I love my women friends. I love laughing.
Yeah, laughter, girls' night. Love playing a bit of music. And my newfound thing is painting. Yeah.
I bet not many people know this.
Yeah, I've been painting.
Judi is a fantastic artist.
Oh my gosh!
You are. I know my art. I love art, and I love your art.
Well, you
Yes.
have said to me, but I just see it as something that helps. I think it's great for my mental health. I like to play music to it. I'm doing a piece now, actually, and it's going to take me about 6 months.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I'm doing it bit every day.
Because it's
once
true
a week.
mindfulness,
Yeah,
that.
it
And I
really
love
is.
that you choose that as to let your hair down, because what it does let your hair down mean? It means to relax, to let go of all the other noise in us. And for me, like dancing, singing, walking by the beach, you know, I immediately think of all of that. So that is a really good way to think about. I haven't thought about.
It does. Can I tell you the other thing that we're
Because
really...
mine would be cooking, I suppose.
Exactly.
Would be the equivalent of that, like painting.
My other thing where I let my hair down is if I go across the road with you and Lily and Kai. I mean...
It was so funny. I'm going to tell this story very quickly. Judi had been at Loose Women maybe 2 weeks, and we were like, do you want to come over the road for a drink? And you know, and it's this shushy private club, isn't it, across the road? And we were like, yeah. I was like, it's a bit posh in there. It's a bit like, because it doesn't sit well with me in there. I always feel a bit. And Judi was like, oh right, okay. Now I realise she'd probably been there 1,000 times before. She walked in. And she got over to the table and she just stood like that and just took her coat off and let it just fall to the floor. Oh my God. Me and Lee always talk about how we just fell so in love with you when you did that. It was amazing. And then you sat down and you had a drink, and then your friend rang you.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. And they were like, oh, what are you doing? I said, I'm out with Nads and that and with the girls and just having a drink. And then she afterwards went, oh, day drinking.
Yeah. So now you're day drinking. I was like,
yeah, I am with it. I am.
It's like, who do you think you are, day drinking?
Day drinking. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I am with the girls. It was
We
so
do.
fun. And now me and her will day drink.
Yeah. On a Friday, a little nibble, a little glass of wine is what we love to do.
Yeah.
So what is next? Oh, classic me. I've got all my cards mixed up.
Right. Okay. So.
Oh, it's me. Finally, it's time. This is what happens on the show, isn't it? I drop all the cards I do. Finally, it's time for our star question. Okay. This is our favourite question from this week's batch, and Judi is going to read it out.
So, the star question comes from Alyssa. She says, I'd love to know if you are all friends off stage, because it's so lovely to see you ladies so happy together.
And the reason why we chose this as the star question is, there's a fun side to this and a more serious side, because we love that you love our friendship, okay? And we really felt that on the Loose Women tour, didn't we? Even more so. And it was just so wonderful, friends coming together. And we love that. But also we get frustrated sometimes that because we're all women, we're all supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
And men don't get asked that in the same way when they work together.
Never.
So there are some of us that are great friends, some of us that are kind friends, some of us that are acquaintances. But we're professional women that work together. And, you know, there's 20 odd Loose Women. You're not going to be friends with everyone. But we're not, there's no one at war. You know?
But on a serious level, yeah, you're right. No, men don't really get answered. And I think I'm answered all the time. And we all get on in different capacities, like you said, whether it's friendship, acquaintance, work, whatnot. And I think that's absolutely fine.
Because what it is, I don't know if you agree to this, Judi, but being a loose woman is like, it's like a microwaved relationship, because if you do quite a few shows with somebody, and that's why I always like to do quite a few shows in a row with a new person, so that you can get that microwave understanding. So like in a friendship outside of Loose Women, you might have gone, you know, you might have gone out 20 times, shared a few bottles of wine, and you'd have got to some of that stuff. We're doing this barefaced in the morning, like sharing our deepest stuff, because some of it is too deep and doesn't make it to the show.
Very much so.
So we get a microwaved friendship, relationship, so we find out quite quickly connections or not. And there's always a connection because, as I say, we're professionals, but deeper connections. I knew, and everyone was texting me, because you were a Loose Woman, you came in and I wasn't on the first couple of shows, and everyone was texting me going, you're going to love her. I was like, oh God. Now what if I don't love her? Because everyone's telling me I'm going to love her. And I did instantly, just like there's just there's just a connection there anyway.
There
So I
is.
thought, oh, I really like her. She's really making me laugh. She's all these things. Now let me see if she's got that, just that thing where you just know, like as a loose woman. And I remember my first show with you, and just like within 3 minutes, I thought, oh yeah, she's got it. Because look, there is something indefinable about a loose woman. You could have somebody that's an amazing presenter that's done loads of work, but they don't have that kind of thing that I've never really fully been able to articulate. You just feel something, you share it back, you listen, and you've got that. And I think that's one of the joys of Loose Women, is that we make friendships. I've made friendships all the way through over 20 years with people that I would never have met. Different kinds of people.
Yeah. But it's true. I've met you and I was like, yeah.
But lots of people kept asking you at the beginning,
yeah,
what are they like? Expecting that people
yeah,
were
what
going to
are
be
they like? And I'm
horrible to you.
like, they're nice. They're lovely. They're strong, amazing, powerful, funny, intelligent, sexy, gorgeous women. Like, you know, when you break it down, I admire you for just how you are as a mum. Like, obviously as a loose woman, but like you said, when you take off that layer, I admire you as a mum. I admire how dedicated you are as a friend to your great friends, as a sister, as a family member.
I've learned so much by being a loose woman.
Yeah.
I always say, if I hadn't been a loose woman, as my dad said, until you were about 34, 33, you really were blancmange. Yeah, that's what my dad always said. And I was a bit of a way, you know, I was this very flighty, actressy type.
Really?
You know, I was a boozer, like I was. If Mark hadn't got sober, I would have become a total alcoholic
Really?
for sure. Yeah. So I changed a lot. I grew a lot.
You really think that?
Oh yeah. I know that. I grew a lot through Loose Women and through obviously time as well. But I think Loose Women, because we get so much input, don't we, from different women.
And we're live. But definitely when I do other shows and you get to interact with other people, or when you're getting on set to record other shows, and you realise, like, wow, what we do as Loose Women, that we're live on air, we interact with each other, we interview
we have
someone,
to have each other's
we're
backs.
hearing this. It's so, and that
Trust
comes
is
in
very
really handy,
important.
because obviously I'm a comedian, so it's a solo performance. But when I do a panel show or something, I can see, it's like I get into Loose Women mode. I can see when someone's not sure of the question, and I will laugh with them. I'll throw like a line that helps them, and then they throw back, and it's like, this is all kind of training.
And I
from
would say, like, even with the people that aren't necessarily friends, that are more colleagues, that's what we have, which is trust. And I think often people want to think that there isn't trust.
Yeah.
That's what they're hunting for. But also, thank you so much for saying that it's lovely to see our friendship, because we are always amazed about how much people love to know what we order in a restaurant, what we do. So yeah, that's
my favourite
so
is to go to Nadia's house and eat.
You've got to do that more.
Yeah.
Right, that's almost it for this show. Look, if you've enjoyed it, please just give us a follow, subscribe, and that way you'll always know when the next episode is playing out. And you know what? It doesn't cost you a thing, not a penny. It's the only last one of the things left free in life, right?
You know, isn't it? And because of that, please keep sending us your juicy dilemmas and questions to loose.women@itv.com.
I was just sitting there thinking, I'm so glad you're about to do the website.
Oh no, girl.
Even if I'm reading it from Nautica, I never get a website.
Do you know what's funny? I'm talking and my eyes are going.
Right. Don't forget, guys, you can join for 2 more of your favourite Loose Women on Tuesday, and they will be getting up close and personal and sharing stuff straight from their heart, like we do on the show, but even more.
So that's it from us, and all we have to say is Happy International Women's Day for tomorrow.
Yeah, Happy International Women's Day, and we'll see you soon.
Stay loose.